of all, let me tell you something. Lamont is just full of
Sometimes my mama said, you know, when you don't have nothing nice to say, you should be quiet.
People say that Stephen A. is a coon. You agree with that? Everybody got quiet on that one? Okay, Lamont, go ahead.
Rudy Giuliani practices voodoo. So he put a voodoo hex on my girl, Hillary, and that's why she got woozy. And the Secret Service had to prop her up and put her in the van.
But take us to a break, my dude.
It was voodoo, son.
I don't know about that voodoo.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Three Black Guys with a Mic.
So you definitely were down with the Miss Pac-Man, not the Pac-Man.
Yeah, we don't do. I mean, and again, I just think we wasn't marketed to, or at least my chips wasn't up when, you know what I'm saying, when the Pac-Man game was coming out. Do we have a host today, or what are we doing?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. I'm here. Hey,
okay.
Everybody, what's up? Sorry, I'm all over the place, man.
Yeah, man, you all over the place, man.
I am, man. I am.
Hold on.
What's up, man? What's up, Lamont?
What's up, Playboy? How
You
you
awful
doing?
cherry. You chipper.
Hey, man, you know, it's the 2020 is almost over. I mean, what can you say? You gotta be, you know what I'm saying? You know.
Did you got the link?
I got everything. I'm good.
You didn't get the story just a minute ago. It just broke.
No, what?
Oh yeah. We should be happy, right?
Trump say he gonna go ahead and start the transition.
Oh, did he say that?
Whoa. He didn't say it. The lady said it.
Nah, he gave her the green light. He said you can start tomorrow after 3.
Is it tomorrow? That's what I'm
Nah,
reading.
I don't know what he
tomorrow
said.
After 3?
Nah, he probably, she probably mess around. All she gotta do is push 2-3 buttons. She probably sitting at home, checking her Samsung,
So let me say this though. I will say this. I have learned so much through this process that I had no idea from, shout out to Jonathan Kinlock. We got to get on him in a minute for the whole canvassing board, across the country. I don't even know if I really knew or understood that, the certification process. I never understood about the GIA process. I just thought, when the votes is counted, everything just kind of just click. I just didn't know that there were so many hurdles.
Really, that we got to get into that. But
yes.
Can we let's start back over. First of all, welcome to Three Black Guys with the Mic, ladies and gentlemen. This is the podcast where politics meet pop culture and hip hop debate style. Spud is here, Lamont and Maynard is here. Shout out to everybody who is on with us right now as we speak. If you are on with us, let us know in the comment sections. Let us know who you are, where you from. Feel free to, make a comment. Let us know, what you feel about anything we talk about today. Also, if you want to make a comment in the show, you can do that by clicking the link in the comments. But before we do anything, ladies and gentlemen, before we do anything, Lamont, before we do anything, Maynard, we got to toast it up.
Ah, 14! He's on the 14, baby. He's on the 14.
Wait.
Listen,
what is that?
Turn, the big 4-9 on Friday. We're giving a big, belated birthday to my man Maynard.
Salute.
4-9 on Friday, and we was, not. So we got to toast it up to our mans, ladies and gentlemen. If you're on with us, raise your glasses in the air.
Oh man, what's up? You didn't say it was gonna be like that.
Some love in the comments. Tell them happy birthday. Congratulations for another year, for making it, for being here, staying healthy, and still, being a part of this podcast. So we toasted up to our guy Maynard for his birthday. Give my man Maynard a happy birthday if you're on with us tonight.
I appreciate that.
I'm sorry. What was that again?
Yo, let me say this real quick. There are a lot of people that hit me up on Facebook. I'm sure there are a lot of text messages and Facebook messages and Instagram and tweets, et cetera, et cetera. And I just did not have a chance to get to everybody. My phone I've been trying to switch carriers and the port got mixed up or something, and they've been working on that. And so I've been receiving other people's phone calls. I've been making phone calls that have been going to the wrong people. whatever. But if I did not
Hey, you
think,
got phone calls going to the wrong people.
I was gonna say, Maynard, who's your provider? Maynard, if you at 49 years old, if you don't have Verizon, my guy,
I got AT&T. Come on, man.
Cellular, you're not in that wheelhouse.
No, I'm not in the consumer cellular warehouse. I'm in the AT&T jump off. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Lacey. But I'll say, if I have not hit you all personally, Tim, Sarah, Miss Spence, I want to say thank you to everybody who thought of me on Facebook, on Twitter, on whatever messengers or whatever the case may be. Thank you, Miss Watkins, Rakia Watkins. Thank you. I know that you waiting for a phone call. I apologize, but I just want to say thank you and thank y'all for reaching out as well. I appreciate both you brothers.
Well, we're glad that you are here, man. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations on another birthday. I'm sorry. This is week number 3. Lamont, I don't know if you saw. Maynard, did you see? But did anybody see Kwame walk out yet?
I have not seen a Kwame sighting. No, I have not.
Okay, so there's no Kwame sighting as of yet. There's no Kwame sighting yet. So Kwame's not out yet. No? No problem. All right. Where do we want to start? You know, we got a lot to get to. Hopefully, we'll be able to get to it in this hour. Where do we want to start? First of all, did anybody watch the Soul Train Music Awards?
No, but that hurts, bud. That wasn't fair.
What?
Just to start the tone or to show off with that, we could have ended it with that. I mean, that casts a dark cloud over the next 59 minutes and some odd seconds.
How? Because Kwame's not out yet?
Yeah, that hurts. Some of us that.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, we're trying to keep, you know what I'm saying, in contact to see, you know, if the man is out yet or what's happening.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's go.
Okay. So nobody watched the Soul Train Music Awards? No one.
Did it come on already? I thought it was.
You could have came on last night.
No, that was the AMAs, Playboy. That wasn't AMA?
I thought Soul Train came on last night too. I know AMAs came on last night. Maybe I got it mixed up. Did anybody watch the AMAs?
I'll be honest with you. When I clicked on and it said R&B Soul and it said Doja Cat, I just turned it off. I said, Doja Cat?
R&B Soul?
Wait. And then I'm ashamed to say this, but I had to go. I said, I didn't know if Doja had any black in her because if I'm not mistaken, there was a lot of some racist stuff that went on with, I don't know if it was Instagram, Snapchat, or something with Doja Cat. And I know my nose that got kind of turned up a little bit. But then I think she has a Jewish mother and a father from Senegal or Ghana or something like that. So I guess
South Africa
or something. But I'm like, that's where we at with R&B Soul. Okay, yo, I gotta go.
All right, so Lamont, you know what I'm saying? I'll let you, you know.
Yes. Yes.
Go.
Come on, don't go. Wait, where you going?
It don't matter. Where you said Lamont sent out the text message, ladies and gentlemen, and our show notes say he had a lot to say. So let's start with you. Let's start with.
Let's recap just Jeezy and Gucci Mane so we can get out the way. You ready?
Good. I don't have to go because that was the first one thing on my list.
Jeezy
versus Gucci Mane.
Well, first of all, at least I got me sound like Maynard. Shout out to our guy Al Nuke. You know, our guy Al Nuke has been Al Nuke since day one, and that's a young man, you know, pause, that I love with his, because when Al Nuke is focused, he's focused. But Al Nuke, I didn't want to comment on some of the comments that you made, but your guy, Gucci Mane, he looked physically good, but he just looked tacky, man. He just looked, it was not a good look. It's like young Jeezy sunned him just on his conversation, his positioning, his everything. And then the records, I said it since day one. There's no way that Gucci Mane he can't compete with Jeezy on records for record, which what all of this was been about. Not about, let's go, no, hey. Versus is not about if I can tell you what my financial portfolio is about.
I think the problem is that Gucci did not play the songs that were smashes.
He don't have enough. He does not have enough.
We can debate all day. Listen, Gucci Man has just as many smashes as Jeezy.
Stop it.
Come on, man.
Charles, Spud, Spence, you are tripping.
Come on, man.
And I'm going to say this.
Yo.
You are tripping.
I am not tripping. I mean, for as many records as you can name that Jeezy has, I can name the same amount of records that Gucci Man has.
Let me say this. Maynard, better step in, Maynard.
Freaky Girl, Third Quarter.
Spud, you are over there shopping at Walmart when you should be over there at Bergdorf Goodman that you used to shopping at. Gucci is trash. He's low budget. Even a lot of his fan base.
Old Gucci, no. New Gucci, maybe. Old Gucci,
no.
Money
Gucci's always. He can tell you in a minute. He's always been about the cut.
I ain't even 30. Never made this song and I ain't even heard it. Never mentioned home can cause I ain't worried. That's classic.
It's classic trash, my guy.
Pass by. Everybody looking. 6 stoves in the house and everybody cooking.
Maynard,
Come on.
Maynard, you gonna leave a man out here waddling like this?
Gucci got records.
Yo, so this is how I see it.
Freaky Girl. Come on.
This is how I see it.
Classics, man.
Gucci
got classics.
Gucci is that wasn't the right battle. He's not on Jeezy's level.
He's not.
He's not on Jeezy's level.
A little bit more. I would say that Gucci is probably not as commercial as Jeezy, but we're not gonna, you know what I'm saying, sit up here and act like Gucci ain't got no classics now. He got bangers.
So what else you had on your head, Lamont? Gucci, listen.
Why you talking? Name a Jeezy song you listen to.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I listen to all the Jeezy joints.
Well, he knows a few Jeezy records.
Nah, I know a couple of Jeezy, but listen, I mean that for real. I'm not the big. I will straight out say I'm not the biggest Jeezy or Gucci fan, but what I know of both of them. And what I like of both of them are probably all the hits that both of them have, and the hits that Jeezy got and the hits that Gucci got. The one that Jeezy got are just bigger.
Name them.
I'm not going to that.
How much time do you got, Mr. Spence?
I waited for you guys to name them, and I can name just as many classics as Jeezy has that Gucci has.
Hold on. Lamont, did you watch the Gucci and Jeezy verses?
Yes. Now, I will, say this. I was in a hotel. We know what I had to deal with, right? And I had, I went and got me a vegetable plate, a big bottle of Kettle One, and they had Everfresh down there. So I was computer, iPhone. I was ready. You know what I'm saying? And when they was like,
first of all, what happened to the 45 minutes late? That's
what I'm saying. But I waited. Those are people, bro. And I heard it was all Gucci's fault.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, I will say that Gucci lost the battle based on the fact that I think that he came out there the wrong way. I do have a new respect for Jeezy and the way that he handled that. I mean, to me, you got to have a lot of temperament and a new soul. Maybe it's the Jenny Ma or what. I don't know if he's doing the meditation to allow a man to do diss song after diss song after diss song, and you don't say nothing. You constantly are saying, bro, we bigger than this. It's for the culture. My bad. That was the past. And move forward. That was really, really big of him because both of them are street, and it could have really been some gunplay very bad, quickly.
Okay.
I'm disappointed in you, Spud. You my man.
How?
I love you, dog. I'm really, you come from radio. You're a DJ. You know music.
Well,
you know better to say something like
Let's
that.
Let's not get it twisted. Jeezy is fire. I'm not saying that Jeezy.
He's a bigger artist.
I am not saying that Gucci Man is better than Jeezy. What I am saying is that Gucci Man has just as many bangers as Jeezy does.
I'm gonna do some homework. I'm gonna go pound for pound.
I would like for you to go and do some homework.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
Damn, Nicole. Damn, Danielle. It's like that. We out here putting out hits. You putting the hits out on people?
But Danielle, we can't again. And I'll say this, and I'll say this. I'll leave it alone too. If any of us on this podcast, any black man that I know, is doing what he did 20 years ago, I mean, I'm looking at you funny. How about that?
Who was that?
I'm just saying, like, that's what they were 20 years ago. They, both of them are in totally different spaces. You know what I'm saying? It just makes no difference for it to be, and I'm with you, Spud, that easily, I heard it was a lot of tension in there. You know what I'm saying? There was conflict even amongst the DJs where the DJs was kind of, screaming at each other a little bit. You know what I'm saying? From two different crews. But
the funniest thing was Kevin Hart and Lil Duval. That was the funniest thing of the whole thing in the comments. But, Yeah. Anyways, Danielle or either of you, did you guys watch Between the World and Me?
I've not yet watched it. I turned to it the other day and it was already like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna wait. And
that's my man from the HBO Howard thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I caught like Maynard. I caught like the last 10 minutes, and I tried to, hit the bootleg version because whatever. But I'll catch that. So tell us about that one, Spud.
Yeah, that is definitely. That was probably one of the most moving documentaries I've seen in a very, very, very long time, since 13th, actually. If you guys didn't read the book, Tashihani Coates basically wrote a letter to his son, basically talking about all of the events that led up to, basically of his history. But I think it was extremely well directed. It flowed very well, graphically was well. I mean, it was extremely emotional. Maynard, I know you cried on, what's the name, on Michelle Obama's joint. I was extremely emotional, on this one. This one, because I have a son and he's, 28 at this point, it makes you reflect on having a child. And it doesn't matter if you have a son or a daughter, but, but having a black son in this country and seeing the way that he dedicated his book and wrote that letter to, his son, and the way that everybody narrated it was absolutely amazing. I mean, I read the book, and the book was good, but to see the visual of it just took it to a whole new level. It's definitely one to see. So shout out to, God, I forgot her name, Kamala Jones? No, I forgot her name, but anyway, she's the head of the Apollo. She's the one who directed it. But the girl from This Is Us, what's that girl's name? Susan somebody? Black lady on This Is Us?
I don't know, but so the Between the World and Me is the book, right? Right. Yeah, by Ta-Nehisi Coates, and like you said, I also read it, and I also had it on or have it on as an Audible book, and so. As you mentioned, Deshaun, I think about Ta-Nehisi Coates is writing this to his 15-year-old son, and you say, oh, my son's 28. But the challenge that we know as we as black men in our 40s, or Deshaun at 28, we're not out of the woods.
Right.
All it takes is for your car to be stopped. There was a brother that, they fired the cop. This happened a few months ago, but the video was just released in part of, I believe, Texas, where the brother was driving and the cop pulled him over because his license tag was dirty. Wound up, and the brother was like, yo, I got my hands up in the car. The cop was like, get out the car. He was like, yo, I'm about to move my hand. Don't move your hand. Okay. I got the seatbelt on. What am I supposed to do? The cop starts yanking on him. He's like, yo, the seatbelt's still on. And then but the cop approached the car with the gun, drawn on my man, like from the jump, like nothing had occurred. They arrested him. And the whole thing was, you had a dirty license tag. Like, it's amazing because you hear here recently a lot of people talking about, if you're not doing anything wrong, then you have nothing to worry about. And I'm just thinking, how could that be true? We see these things happen. Even when my man was being, he was being entirely complicit, the cop came to the car with a gun drawn on him. How do you feel, you know what I'm saying? How the cop is yelling at you, he's got a gun out. What goes through your mind in today's world? So, I don't wish ill will on nobody. And your son, sweet kid, I've known him, 20 some years now. We're not out of the woods.
But you know what, Maynard? I agree with 99.9% of what you just said, but only thing I could disagree with you is that, and this is what I'm learning more and more every day, is you said in the world that we live in today. And unfortunately, my guy, it's not. This is how it's been since we've been here.
True.
You know, thinking about that black man and his family, you know, we're going to talk about this later. Something I just learned on Saturday about our illustrious first president of the United States. I mean, I was watching Reagan last night. And if you haven't watched that, it's more of a, not like Ta-Nehisi thing, but it was still a documentary about, you know, about Ronald Reagan. And there were some things in his early life that I swear I didn't know. And you look at what happened then and you look at where we are today, and it's the same. Not just even the making America great again, just the whole, everything. It's like, you know, the playbook is just the same about how, you know, I didn't know even when before he was governor on how, you know, his positioning was towards, you know, black people. I mean, it was just evident. I mean, and I got to, you know, shout out to Reagan's son. I think he participated in it some kind of way. A lot of interviews on the piece, but he even said, you know, he never heard his dad use the N-word in his house growing up, but he knew something wasn't right when he was growing up, you know, in terms of, you know, people of color and things of that nature. So that to me is the only thing that is just so disturbing on so many different levels. I don't have a 15-year-old or 28 or 5 or 3, but stepping back and you looking at, you know, a lot of young people that are in my world, so to speak, and we have these conversations about, you know, how do you know, deal with these situations. It's scary, man. It's scary. That's all you can say is real scary.
Yeah, and I think that, you know what I'm saying, Maynard, you know, pointed it out, which is that, you know, we're not out of the woods, you know, at all. And, you know, even just going back to one of the things in the documentary, you know, about one of the parts that Ta-Nehisi Coates was talking about where, you know, he was walking, I believe, in New York, and one of the, I believe a white lady actually pushed his son out of the way, and he like went ham on the lady, and he had to check himself, thinking like that could have literally went left. Like all of that could have, you know, he could have been separated from his son for life based off of the fact that somebody who is of a different skin color of his son, and he's trying to protect his son, actually pushed his son. And he's like, yo, I'm here as a black father, just not even a black father, any dad, to protect my child, but because we play by a different set of rules, or we have to, you know what I'm saying, we live by a different set of rules, yo, police could have come, they could have strangled me, they could have, you know what I'm saying, taken me to jail, so forth and so on. And it really is unfortunate that we do, you know, live by, you know, a different set of rules, and we have to, you know, just even like having a conversation with your kids about being pulled over by the police, you know, about what you should do when you're actually pulled over by the police. You know, these things, they don't have conversations, you know what I'm saying? White fathers don't have their conversations with their kids about, you know, when you get pulled over by the police, this is what you should do, and this is how you should act. And it's really unfortunate that, you know what I'm saying, we have to have those conversations.
You know, and I hate to, you know, keep it going for too long on this if we need to move on. But one of the things I think is important is that we keep, you know, we often have these conversations about what we should and should not do, how we're going to act in the presence of, or how police are treating us. But we also, similar to what Lamont said, understand that it's not just the police, it's the systems, right? If you are a young black boy at 5-6 years of age and you're in kindergarten and you are a little hyper or you just act up, they're going to track you. They're tracking you into special ed almost immediately. And, you know, it's this school to prison pipeline, right? It's not long. You know, we understand that in our school systems that young black boys are suspended from school and expelled from school at a greater rate than their counterparts who happen to be white. And we have to ask the question, you know, people would say, well, you know, black boys are more difficult to deal with or whatever the case may be. So we believe that black children are just born wrong. That's some BS, you know? And so, and it's not just that. It's the idea that this woman decided to put her hand on Ta-Nehisi Coates' son. That there's an open invitation to just, you know, they're small, what they call microaggressions. Like you're in line and somebody just decides to get in front of you, or you get ignored at a restaurant or whatever. And all these things are not necessarily you had a gun in your face, but all these things can lead to the straw that breaks the camel's back. And so, you know, one of the things I was thinking about when talking to some friends was that they were saying how stressful being a law enforcement officer is and how dangerous it is to be a law enforcement officer. And so I did some research, and it's like, you know, there are several thousands, tens, 100,000 police officers in the country. About 150 of them die in the line of duty a year. 150 police officers in the whole country die in the line of duty each year. Now, 150 black kids die in Chicago every 2 months, right? And so if you think as an officer, and I don't listen, thank goodness for, you know, police who are working their best cases and doing the right thing. And even when they can't do the best things, they try to do the right thing. And I understand that things can, but if you think that you're under stress when you come into what we call the hood or black neighborhoods, that you have to have your head on a swivel, imagine what people who live there are going through. Shit, it's a stressful neighborhood to them too. So you showing up with the gun and the taser and the mace and the billy club and 4 or 5 other people who are all on your team, and you're yelling, it doesn't lead to that can't lead to good outcomes. And not to mention, like, oh, so maybe I lost my job that day, or maybe I got cut off by somebody, or somebody called me the N-word, or whatever the case may be. Some woman decided to get in front of me in line, and, you know, I just had to kind of eat that, like, I ain't gonna say nothing. This is too much on my neck right now. And then I get pulled over because my license tag is dirty, and you got a gun out.
Right.
It doesn't make any damn sense.
Yeah. Yeah, shouts out to everybody who's with us, you know what I'm saying, tonight on Facebook, YouTube, as well as on Instagram. Shouts out to Rick Hines. Shout out to our guy Mike Jenkins, my man Mike Moore, Big Ty the Big Show, West Nation, you know what I'm saying, in California. Everybody who's follow us on Facebook. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you're with us on Facebook, and the subscribe button if you're with us on YouTube. Let's get back to the election fraud and Jonathan Kinlock and everything that happened in Detroit, and what we were kind of talking about earlier, and that whole issue of the canvassers.
Why do we need this? And again, I had no idea. I guess I'm just waking up from this fog of, we're told to go to the polls, that we vote, whoever gets the most votes, and that's it. I mean, I had no idea that we had to go from a local canvasser to a state canvasser in order for something to be certified. Now, I guess, these are processes that have happened before. They just were always behind the scenes, and again, I still believe that there's so many people that have no idea or full understanding of even the electoral process, because again, it's not whoever gets the most votes wins. You know what I mean? So I think there's just so many, I feel like it's like an obstacle course, when it comes to the voting process, and the person that created the obstacle course, sometimes he moves the barrier up or moves the goalpost here or does this, that you have all of these things. So I definitely want to shout out, like I said, Jonathan Kinlock, because first of all, I know Kinlock from He's Playing Hard to Get. Jonathan is he a record guy, you know what I mean? And I knew him from, producing a lot of big records and having High Five and Tony Thompson, all those things. And I knew he was very into the political space. And I'll be honest with you, Jonathan, my man, I had no idea that's kind of what he did. I just know he was in that lane, a little something with the school board here and there. And his brother got the big church, Jesus and all that, you know what I mean? But there was just, again, I had no idea that what he was doing was such a pivotal, cog in the wheel of making sure that this thing didn't go off the rails. You know what I'm saying? Because if these two people, I think one was from Grosse Pointe and one was from somewhere else, if they would have had their way, Michigan could have been a mess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the unfortunate thing about it is that when these things come out, this is only another layer of like BS. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where you're just like, now you don't really trust the process anymore. Now you're like, because I did, I did some advertising and, production and commercial for a judge that was running in the Third Circuit, and she lost in the general one, in the general election. And then I read in the newspaper 2 days ago, she actually won because they miscounted the votes. And I'm like, well, wait. If had that certification or had that not have happened, she actually would have won and we would have never known it. And so these things make you think like, well, who actually is running these things? Who's winning these actual elections? I mean, is it somebody back there saying, okay, what do they do in the cartoon? One for me, one for you. One for me, two for you. Two for me, one for you.
Right.
Four for me, one for you. You know what I'm saying? So it makes you not trust the political process, and this is just one of those things again where you're like, wow, what's really happening? How does these things actually work? But again, to your point, and I'll pass it to Maynard, it just makes you go back to think like, we've been taught to do these things all of our life, and you don't question these things because this is what you've been taught historically, from religion to college to money to education to family to voting to everything. This is the way it's been, and this is the way it's supposed to be. So don't nobody say nothing. You just trust it and you keep on moving. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
Well, I think a couple of things are important to say. One, and not to be the way back discussion of Ben Franklin was asked in Philadelphia, what do we have? Do we have a monarchy still or something else? And he responded to the person, we have a republic if you can keep it. The if you can keep it is the part, because if Donald Trump had been successful, we no longer have a republic or a democracy. We have a monarchy, or in fact, we have a dictatorship. If he can call on the phone and tell somebody, you need to change that. If Lindsey Graham can get on the phone and call Atlanta, the last time I remember, South Carolina and Atlanta are not in the same place. Like Lindsey Graham, you ain't got nothing to do with it. So, why are you making these calls? So let's go back and think about what the Republicans have tried to do, because I have a question for our Wayne Bradley friends. I have a question for our Ice Cube friends. I have a question for all of those friends of ours who were advocating for the black agenda that they felt like Trump was going to help us. Lil Wayne. In Michigan, primarily Wayne County, which is Detroit. In Atlanta, in Philadelphia, and in a part of Wisconsin, they seized, or they went and they tried to overturn votes in those specific locations, which were all black. And they wanted to essentially say to black people, your vote doesn't count, particularly to black people. I remember watching the video of all these white folks down yelling outside of the registrar where they were counting the votes in Detroit. And I was like, I ain't never seen that many white folk in all of Detroit. What is going on?
Detroit. It's a new Detroit out here now.
It's new Detroit now.
Well, it's still Detroit. It's still like 74, 75%.
It's a new downtown. It's not a new Detroit.
Right.
Yeah, it's new downtown, yeah.
Right. But here's the thing. These people had told us that Donald Trump was going to do everything for black people. I'm the greatest thing for black people. But he is, in fact, when we talk about someone meddling in the election, he is directly meddling in the election. When Lindsey Graham, who's in South Carolina, calls into the state of Georgia to tell the man to change or throw out votes, And then Lindsey Graham, in fact, turned around and bragged that he called 2 other secretaries of state, which they denied that they even had conversations with. What is Lindsey Graham doing but meddling in the election when Donald Trump is calling these 2 people and is summoning them to the White House? And they really ultimately report to the state legislature, the Secretary of State, and the governor of Michigan. They don't report to Donald Trump. What are you doing other than meddling in the election? And so we have to understand that this kind of meddling, in fact, I would be surprised. The good thing is he eventually said, all right, we're going to allow for the transition. But theoretically speaking, why should the American people not be pressing charges against Donald Trump for meddling in the election and Rudy Giuliani for leaking ink all over the damn podium? What kind of shiggity is that?
But you know what scares me more about Giuliani, man, and I thought about this. Because again, I'm big on this history thing. Because if they're doing this now, what did Giuliani do to black people in New York City when it was district attorney, correct?
Yeah, and mayor later. You know what he did?
Later. But
he
I'm saying,
just stopped and frisk.
Attorney, what if I mean with these kind of shenanigans, because you know they say an older person is nothing but, you know,
older version of the younger self.
The younger self. Yeah, that's it. So I mean, just think about all of the nuttiness that you see with this guy about what how many people may be sitting in jail right now based upon his shenanigans. I think about that sometimes because dude is nutty for real.
I don't understand how even like don't you? Isn't there a point of embarrassment for you, Rudy? Like, my dude, you saw he had to go home later after that one press conference. First, let me ask this question.
When you feel it, you would come down your. I would think that your mind would say, "Oh shoot, I got dye in my hair. Dye has to be leaking on my face."
Now, here's my real question. This goes before that. Who staged the press conference at the Four Seasons Garden Center? Who the hell did that? And then y'all showed up. I would have just called it off. I'd have been like, nah, we not. There's a sex shop over here, a pawn shop over there, and we just got some roller banner up. Let's just call this off.
Can we talk about hoes?
I love talking about hoes, but I'm happily married. Hoes? Yes. Yeah.
Please do tell.
For a second.
Can I turn up the audio for myself for a moment so I can learn?
Wait. Before you go into that, I want to make sure we're clear. I know you all seen the TikTok where the guy said, "Do you want to go work at the polls?" Polls, right? And then he showed the pole, you know, the dancing, and he went to a let out. So I want to make sure we're clear. Are we talking about hoes or holes?
We talk about hoes.
Hoes. Okay.
Whores.
Yeah, not whores.
Okay.
We're talking about hoes. Okay.
Now, how would we define a hoe in 2020?
I don't listen. Hold on. These comments are those of
this is legit. I mean, I don't even know. I guess it's the first question of how you would actually define
a hoe.
What that actually is. And so let me go into my point. We can kind of backtrack into that. So I saw 2 articles. One, LeVar Ball, where he was saying that he was talking about hoes, and he was saying that, you know, he told his son that you cannot find that being in the NBA, that there's no good women. That he had to have a conversation, you know what I'm saying, with his sons about staying away from hoes. And then Erica Campbell from Mary, she basically says you can't sow hoe seeds and be married. So she said you can't sow hoe seeds and reap marriage benefits. Brain and body don't switch like that. Tina, you got to get into this conversation because, first of all, we just talking. Tina, don't beat us up now because I know last week you was trying to beat us up. You got to prepare for marriage, your mind. You got to prepare your mind for marriage because it's a ministry. And it made me think like, well, then you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. So
no, I think you can't turn a hoe into a housewife.
So your path of being a hoe, you cannot translate that into a happy marriage. And there is no good. There's definitely good women out here. You know what I'm saying? The NBA, LeBron James got a great wife.
But he had her before he got to the league. They was popping before they got in the league. They won.
Well, let me say this. I believe that every man and every woman is a hoe for somebody else. Meaning, in the past, listen, In the past, you dogged around. In the past, you were not faithful to this girlfriend or that other person or whatever the case may be. But when the right person showed up, so did your husbandship or your good boyfriendship. That showed up. So there's a woman out there that you dated, and she was a hoe in your opinion at that time. She wasn't the right wife person for you, but for somebody else, she qualifies.
Well, we still have not defined the word hoe. Wait. That's the problem, because I totally reject your statement of we all had hoe in us. I disagree with that.
Lamont, let me ask you a question, Lamont. Have you ever, in your past, way back, before you even knew Miss Bailey, had you ever dealt with one woman and another woman and not been upfront that you were not trying to be monogamous?
No.
Yeah, but I don't think that that's a hoe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's not hoeing.
I think a hoe is somebody, I don't know, Tina, Danielle, whoever else is on with us, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got to put some definition into this. Robert,
y'all just come on the damn show. Y'all need to just come on the show and set it straight.
I would say this. Look, if you, a hoe, in my opinion, okay, that's just in my opinion, is somebody who is never committing to one person, right? This is just somebody who's just constantly out here with no parameters, no sense of boundaries, no sense of respect. Just you get some ass, and you get some ass, and you get some ass, and everybody gets some ass. Right. That's to me. But going back to kind of what Maynard was saying, I think you grow out of that. And I think that, you know what I'm saying, at some point, you are like, you know what? I did that when I was 25. You know, I messed around. Yeah, unfortunately, I got a lot of, you know,
bodies.
Call it? Bodies. Thank you. I got
not right. Y'all not right.
I got a lot of bodies on me. But somebody out there, to Maynard's point, wants me and all these bodies I got. All this baggage.
It's not
community.
that so.
Thank you, Tina.
It's not.
I'm with the community, and life is good.
Mr. Hayes.
Lamont?
Well, and I think sometimes we have to, what do they say, understand the source. I also think he probably should expand it when we talk about hoe, is that, you know, there are also a lot of people, I think, who target sports guys, you know, for the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I think being an opportunist is kind of a little different from being a hoe, because I think the hoe portion is, hold up, Maynard, and I'm just going by the Urban Dictionary. It just said.
because the Urban Dictionary is refined and studied by PhDs worldwide.
Well, first of all, where do you pick up Urban Dictionary?
UrbanDictionary.com. UrbanDictionary.com.
Oh, Urban Dictionary. Okay.
Yeah. It says a hoe is who sleeps with a lot of. Wait, hoe who sleeps with a lot of guys that a girl is a hoe. Blah blah blah. Then it says, and this is kind of sexist. It says a girl who goes after every guy, says slutty things, doesn't care about anyone but herself and boys, and wears clothes to try to make her look like she has a butt. That was a little bit comical, but. And that's in the Urban Dictionary. So what I'm saying is, there's a lot of facets to being a hoe. You know what I mean? And I think he should have also and he could have cleaned it up and just said opportunists as well. Because again, you have some women, and we talked about this last week or the week before last, that they are taught that they're the prize, and they are taught that, you know, for them to go out and get a NBA or NFL guy and to make a baby. And that's what some black women always laugh and joke, ha ha ha. I'm gonna make sure I get my check. Isn't that what they're taught?
They trap them.
They trap them. You know what I'm saying? Be an opportunity. So I'm waiting on our person to come in and say we policing the black or women now. So I don't know where she is, but come on now. But it may as you're gonna say I'm wrong, but some women are taught that. You know what I mean? I don't know any men that are taught to go out or at a young age and say, you know, we're gonna go out and get a WNBA player and make sure we get them,
Yeah, but isn't it the same thing though? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Men are taught like, yo, I'm gonna go out and slay as many broads as I can. I mean, women as I can. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? I mean, men are taught like, yo, you need to conquer as many chicks as possible.
Of course we taught that. Shaft.
Why are we taught that, man?
I don't know why we're taught it, but that is definitely part of it. Like, the guy who, is, the man. He's got all the chicks. I mean, we talking about John Shaft. Can you dig it? I'm saying, who's the man?
First of all, no, cut.
Yeah,
cut.
man,
but hold on, no.
My God.
The real talk is this. Promiscuity among men or among women, that you running around and you collect them bodies at a time, means in that moment you are a hoe. You went through a hoe phase. You had a hotation. But then you met somebody who was like, yo, I don't want to be a hoe no more. I want to be good. I'm delivered. I don't want to be a hoe no more. So
I mean, so Danielle said, you know what I'm saying, community peen, which I really hate that word. That's disgusting to me. Community peen. The heck is peen? But anyway, think about Magic Johnson, right? Think about Wilt Chamberlain.
There's a lot of hoeing going on with Wilt and Magic.
That's a lot of bodies.
It's a lot of bodies.
But the difference of it is that you can't look. Nobody's looking at, or society does not look at. Magic Johnson is looked at as the prize, but Cookie is not. And Cookie ain't. I don't know how many.
Whoa! But Spud, why is Magic the prize? Is it because
he's an NBA player? I'm sure.
No. Okay, and why is? But is it the prize that he's an intellectual NBA player? Is that he's a great,
No, he's a legend. I mean, I'm sure any basketball player, in that sense. But I mean, you got men who still got just as many bodies that are regular. But I mean, you can flip it, and women are like, "Yo, shoot, you've been with 100 chicks."
Well, I mean, I remember it just was an eye-opening experience to me once I was in school and in college, and these young ladies that I knew, I was cool with, that I thought were okay people. They were talking about we going to the draft, to the NBA draft, and I was like,
"What you mean we going to the draft?"
I mean, I wasn't going. They were talking. Two of them were going, and I was like, "Y'all going to the draft?" Like, as an idiot, because I'm a young, impressionable young man who at that time had my Bible under my arm at all times. I was like, why y'all going to the draft?
That's the one who doesn't believe in God.
Right.
You must really love basketball that you were going to go to the draft. That's interesting. What is your favorite team? And they were like, we don't have no damn team. We trying to get... One of the things I thought was kind of crazy was they, like Lamont said, or like you said, but they were out there trying to put it out there to catch something and lock in. Okay, that's your business. But that's, at the end of the day, neither one of them were on that level. Let's put it like that. And they got pimped out. Now they got husbands. Some dude that work at the shipyard, another dude that is a teacher.
At the shipyard. Hey, man, my cousin works at the shipyard.
I'm saying, but it's a whole big difference between catching LeBron James and catching a guy who has a really great job at the shipyard, making $85,000, $100,000.
So, man, I got a question.
It's good money.
But I'm gonna get in trouble for this. So, are we saying that Juanita Jordan was a hoe? Because from what I understand, if you know a little bit of the story of Michael Jordan and Juanita Jordan, who, again, he later married, is that even before my man really got it popping, they said Miss Jordan looked at dude and was like, I'm getting him. This going to be mine. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, boom, bam, boom. And she did everything she could, and she got babies out of dude, and they got married, and she been good, since that particular day at the club. So would Juanita be considered a hoe?
I would not.
Or an opportunist.
I'm not saying anything about.
Does the hoe go away once you get married? Is that what it is? Or?
I think that everybody is a hoe, but when the right person shows up, your best person comes out of you, and you stop being a hoe. Before I met the right person, I was like, yo, I'm out here. I'm trying. What you know? What you trying? I'm trying to do that too. What's up? What's your name? I don't care. Let's just do it.
Man, everybody wasn't like that. Some people had a little bit more.
What's your name? I don't care.
Yeah, we didn't come from that. You know what I mean?
Bathroom? You were doing bathroom peen? Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, we didn't do that, man. That's not how we got down, my guy.
What you say, Spud? What kind of peen?
Bathroom peen. That's what Danielle says. Community peen.
Yo, did you? Somebody tell you something?
Okay, I'm sorry. Do y'all have something that y'all? Because I got two more things that I want to talk about. So Lamont go or Maynard go?
No, you go, Maynard, because what I got is a little bit more. I don't know if it's serious, but I just got some questions.
I would prefer that you go and get your questions answered, sir. I'm here to answer.
Yeah, but again, I don't like falling behind. You know, doing the whole thing. So I'm watching TV.
Let me go and then you.
Let you go first. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let me ask this stupid question. So last week we talked about black men supporting Donald Trump and the rise of black men supporting Donald Trump from 2016 to 2020. And so there's an article, I think it was in Billboard. I don't know if you saw it, Lamont, or not, but it was Barack Obama basically wrote an article, and he didn't write an article, but he did an article. I think it was his article with the Atlantic or whatever. I don't know, but anyways, whatever. So he said it's interesting. People are writing about the fact that Trump increased his support among black men in the 2020 presidential election, and the occasional rapper who supported Trump said Obama. I have to remind myself that if you listen to rap music, it is all about the bling, the women, the money. A lot of rap videos are using the same measures of what it means to be successful as Donald Trump is. Everything is gold-plated, that insinuates itself and seeps into the culture. So a lot of people were kind of going off on him, basically saying that he was comparing rap music and hip hop music to black men supporting Donald Trump. Agree or disagree?
I totally agree.
So you think
that Donald Trump actually, I don't want to say he came from the culture, but I think just like a lot of people in the music business, who have the Donald Trump philosophy, I think there are a lot of people in the business that think like Donald. They don't say it like Donald, but again, you got to remember, Donald was at Studio 54 with Russell. I read another article where they talked about over the past 20 years the amount of rappers that talked about Donald Trump and how Donald Trump really, until he became president and showed a lot of his true colors, he was embraced by our community. You feel what I'm saying? So, I said this before and I'll keep saying it, is that, in the music business, it's okay. And the man, you're going to say it's not okay, because I'm not saying it is okay, but it's okay by companies with big budgets to disrespect black women. But they won't do it to a Jewish woman. It won't happen. Period.
Or a rock
Zero.
Woman.
Or a white woman. Zero. So you got to, once you get to a certain part in this music and you start to look at, and again, I get in the celebrating of black women and we go twerk it and shake it and twist it. I get all that. But as soon as we do something to a woman that doesn't look like us or has maybe some sort of West Indian or other kind of connection to our community some kind of way, it just ain't happening. I've never seen one black rapper, no matter how much we love Ice Cube and fuck the police, he has never said fuck a white woman. Not one time. I just ain't heard it. And God forbid he talk about, Mr. Dershowitz or somebody like that. I mean, am I wrong, Maynard? Am I missing something?
No, Lamont,
you're a historian here.
You're right, Lamont. It's totally fine to disrespect black women. You're right. Right. I remember somebody was saying it was this whole thing with Pac, and he's saying a bitch, and the chick was like, I love that song. Well, he keeps calling you a bitch. He ain't talking about me. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He talking about you, and that's just not.
I remember I had a conversation with me and KRS-One was sitting a long time ago when I lived in Dallas, and we were speaking out of school together, and he was saying, it's amazing to me how I uplift black women and I get no women in front of the stage. As soon as Easy E comes up and say a bitch is a bitch, all the women.
Right. But and the thing is, and it's not just women, it's us as black men. Like, again, we have chosen in our, particularly in hip hop, to call ourselves names like 21 Savage or Young Thug or Lil Uzi Vert, who probably has never held a Uzi. And we embrace this. We embrace sorrow and pity and despair. Lamont, you said this to me, and I couldn't get my head wrapped around it. The number of movies about black pain, death, destruction, and misery is porn. People love it. We love it. I can't get enough. And Donald Trump, if you guys might not remember, but when we first went out selling the podcast, Donald Trump was We're
actually still selling the podcast. If anybody would like to pick it up, on all three platforms. Wait.
Donald Trump was
selling it. Wait, what are we selling? Hold on. We didn't have that meeting yet. Hold on.
But we're selling it now. If you would like to buy it, you are more than welcome to go and pick it up.
But Donald Trump was what we were talking about when we say where hip hop and politics meet, because what we understood is when he was on stage with 15 other Republicans, he basically 50 Cent them. He decided to write a diss record against each and every one of them. He came up with a name for each of them, and he dissed them the same way. Then when he talks about it, look, when LL Cool J released "I'm Bad," he was like, "I'm bad. I'm the baddest there ever was." What does Donald Trump say? "I had the greatest economy there ever has been," et cetera, et cetera. So yes, Donald Trump is hip hop in a weird, strange kind of way. So
well, you know, and I'll take it a step further, and then I'll leave it alone. You know, my good friends, Special K, Karen Lee, she says this all the time. She said, "Lamont, we are the creators of cool on so many different levels."
Absolutely.
We are, and this will bleed into what I'm going to say later. I mean, about understanding that rice didn't come from China. It came from Africa. I mean, we really are. It's so many things we can go down the list of what we have created. And I think sometimes we just forget that we are the creators of that cool, and what they do and have done is they take from that, which is what you're saying about the whole hip hop thing, and they figure out how to massage it and utilize their benefit. Because even take hip hop over as a whole, and Maynard, you can feel me on this, and I don't want to box Spud out, but I think about this sometime. Like, before corporate America really got into hip hop, I mean, it really was a different thing. You know what I mean? It really was a voice of the people. It was like the CNN of what went on in our community. And once you put, just like anything else, you put the big banks, you put Wall Street, you put these big major, global corporations into the mix, they are having these sometimes subliminal meetings, I think. I don't think that there's a meeting that said, okay, we got to call black people X, Y, and Z, but I do think you have people that think that, and they say when someone comes up with this kind of idea and they're trying to take a $50,000 deal, and they don't have no food in their refrigerator, for them to say a bitch is a bitch is a bitch is a bitch is a bitch, then boom, there you go. And you got multi-million dollars worth of commerce. Because I say this all the time, NWA really was the worst thing that happened to hip hop.
I agree.
The worst thing.
The
worst thing, my guy.
The first thing, listen,
that was the worst thing.
The first thing they did is they came out with that first album. That album was crazy, right? And it opened up a lot of eyes, and I would say, okay, for what it's worth, it had some artistic merit. But it's more commercial than we want to give credit to. We think like a Will Smith is commercial because he ain't talking about, anything hardcore. But what's more commercial? The fact that when you call a woman a bitch, that okay, you made a point one time, but the second time you're like, yo, if that worked one time, I'm gonna call 5,000 women bitches. That's commercial. That is the meaning of commercial. Just doing what it is that sells. Because did we really believe that on was 100 Miles and Running that was a masterpiece album? No, but you know what they did? No, look, the first one, I'll give them some
This
space.
is Howard Stern does, Spud. Stop acting like And that wasn't even Dre's best production.
No.
You know what I mean? No, it was not.
Now let me say this.
I don't understand how y'all saying the NWA was the worst thing to happen to hip hop. Come
I
on.
do. And
It changed everything.
Can I give my opinion?
Please do, sir.
Yes, please.
And I swear on my mama and everything else I love. I saw this because I was in school. If you go back to hip hop before NWA, people were smiling. We were dancing. Even though we had those records, but it was more of a happy place to be in hip hop. Once it was NWA on, it was like, wait a minute, we can be angry and make money, and we can talk about women and.
Yeah, but I think that what you're saying is that you said it and Maynard said it that that even before NWA that it was all about the street. It was street poetry. It was everything that reflected the images of everything that was going on in the community. And then, unfortunately, NWA's reality was totally different. I mean, fuck the police is a real reality. I mean, that's not anything that's fake. I mean, that was... So before NWA, it wasn't like we weren't getting beat up by the police, we weren't getting stalked by the police, we weren't getting slammed by the police.
Push me too close, I'm close to Ed was saying the same thing. Grandmaster Flash said the same thing, but it was said different.
The message is just a different articulation of what NWA is. It's the same thing. He just saw it differently from the Bronx and from South Central Los Angeles.
But here's the thing, though, Spud. With the messages here. And F the police is right here. I'll give them similar leverage. But the rest of it, a bitch is a bitch. A bitch, come on, you know what I'm saying? And that made it, Lamont's right. That made it right. That made it okay for it to be open season on black women. That we could call them bitches.
Just hold on a second. This is just some men talking. Just give us a second. First of all, a bitch is a bitch, right?
Hey, man, can I get a disclaimer? Can I get a disclaimer, man?
Listen, some of these things, I think when you're talking about dope man, when you talk about bitch is a bitch, you talk about 100 miles and running, you talk about niggas for life. I mean, all of these songs are just as articulate and as true as KRS One and the message, and these are the same things, they're just different codes. It's no different than Too Short talking about the things that went on in Oakland.
And I don't think we're saying that.
Same thing.
No. What I'm saying is that when that record came out, the whole thing of this thing called hip hop, which included all of the elements, we gotta talk about that. I'm saying it just turned a corner, and to me, it was a bad turn. It was because of that group, and I would say, and because corporate America started to buy into it, they saw the dollars and the cents, the MTVs of the world. You know, when I saw a story, I think it was on MTV about the beginning of MTV and how it was trash. They didn't have any money and it's just, you know, and how, you know, yo MTV Raps, man, you know, this part is that they were bringing some of the highest ad revenue into the space because, you know what I mean? You know, everybody wanted to see that. And they were, you know, that was the beginning of, you know, minimum input with maximum, excuse me, maybe I'm saying this wrong. Minimum output with maximum input in terms of revenue generating. You know what I mean?
Other way around. Other way around.
And we can make a lot of money off of this. And
right.
I think that's what happened, you know, when you saw even with the NWA thing is like, oh, we can give somebody a turntable and scratch, we can make all of this money. And there were groups that made money before that, but I'm just saying, and disrespect and continue to, you know, attack the black community, because that didn't start with NWA. You feel what I'm saying? That started when we first got here. So it's a win-win all the way around for certain.
Attacking the black community?
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean,
we're gonna some St. Ives. Listen, but I used to drink old English 800, my guy.
I mean, I did too, but I mean, I don't necessarily know if
it went on.
I think you would have drank that, you know, either way. I mean,
Chris was not allowing us to drink 40 ounces.
Well, Billy D was out here. Billy D was out here giving us that smooth taste, that cold 45.
Yeah, it wasn't a 40 ounce. Well, I mean, Maynard.
Yeah, it was.
It was a can.
Yeah, no.
At first, it was a can, no?
I mean, it always came. There was always a 40. Before you, there's some old 40-ounce beers that you ain't never heard of, like Black Tower. That was out back in the day. But
I know we're over. Shout out to my girl Crystal. Shout out to my man Carlton on Instagram. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in with us. Tina, thank you for your comments. Sean P, what up, Sean P? Go ahead, Lamont. I know you had two things.
No, this was real quick, and I just want to ask this. This is we talked about Obama. I want to ask this about Michelle. So, I guess Obama just came out with the book recently, right?
Yeah.
And I guess there's a section in the book where Obama talks about how he had to convince Michelle of running, not even for the president, for the Senate space. Michelle's like, nope. How we gonna do this? We got these bills. We got this. He's like, no, baby, I got this. No. We got Sasha Malia. They need some Pampers and this and that. And I know you got all these big ambitions and this and that, but God dog it, no. Barack did it anyway. Okay, cool. Then this president thing comes up. Hell no. When you gonna get it up? I'm tired of this, Barack. We got to do it. These bills is coming and da-da-da. So here's my question to both of y'all. Even though we know how it turned out in the end, but was Michelle wrong for not supporting Barack from day one? Was she wrong for giving homie a little resistance in the beginning?
I'm gonna let Maynard, expand. Here's my narrow-minded.
Because in the beginning, Michelle didn't support B-Rock. You feel what I'm saying? She wasn't there.
Here's what I think. I think that at that point, because it's never been done before, I think you have a limited view of what's possible. And I think that, sometimes, especially for women, when you're treading in new waters, that can be really, really scary. And you have to also think about from Michelle's perspective. I'm a black woman from the south side of Chicago with two black babies, and you want to go and you want to run for the White House, boy? So I'm sure all of those things came to mind. I'm sure that, the mindset of no black man has ever, been successful in running for president. So what this is our reality right now. We got bills. And right now you talking about going to the White House. So I think it might have been, and I'm just speculating, but it could have been just mindset at that moment. Now, on both sides of the aisle, black and white, now anybody could aspire to become the president, because two things have happened. On the Republican side, the bar has been set so low that people are just like, oh, shoot, if this guy got in, I can, Kanye West can run, I can run. And then now when you see Kamala Harris and you see even Joe Biden, now it's just kind of like, oh, if Kamala Harris can make it to that level, I can make it to that level as well. So I don't think that she was wrong. I think it was just fear.
I don't think that. I think it's a little bit different that she didn't believe. I think she was saying, and you get into a relationship with someone like, yo, what did we kind of sign up for here? If you just take it like you're going to move to Alaska, right? You both are from wherever you happen to be from. You come together, you got good jobs where you are. And then one day one of the person says, we're going to go to Alaska. And I'm like, wow, I didn't sign up for that, because I don't think it was ever a money issue, right? Remember, Barack, before he ran for president, he had written 2 books. Also, they both are attorneys, right? He graduated from Harvard. He was the president of Harvard Law Review. So I think that she definitely believed that he could probably
still got some student loan debt.
And I was about to say, and Maynard, just give you a little correction. The quote from Michelle was that, how would we maintain 2 households, one in Chicago and one in D.C.? This was the Senate run, so it was about a little cheese. Senate, yes. I don't know about the president run.
I mean, there are people who make less money than $183,000 a year as a congressman, which Barack's salary had a senator, what his salary would have been, and she was making money as an attorney in Chicago that have operated 2 households. I think a large part of what she's expressing is, I didn't sign up to become bi-coastal. She didn't see herself as saying, you're going to be in the Senate and I'm going to move to DC. How are we going to do that? Because raising children and keeping this household together, if money is not an issue, it still is hard to say, daddy's not going to be home for 6 weeks, or we got to wait till the weekend. Moms and dads, where you got 2 people in the household trying to raise children, somebody needs a break. And did she sign up for that? And I think initially she was like, I think you can probably, you know what? I'm sure she said to herself, you're probably the smartest black man in America. You probably could win. You're good looking, you speak well, you have all the right credentials, everything is great. I just don't want to do that. And so I think that's part of it. It's not just it's money only, but there are other pieces, and people have got to, what's your threshold for pain? And on top of that, one thing that did happen was he got blew out trying to run for the House seat. He got blown out the water. And so the Senate seat came right behind that. It fell in his lap almost immediately. And so she probably was like, isn't Senate enough? Why we got to do all this? Why do you have to be the one to save the world? But, was she wrong? I think she was being realistic in what you said, what she could see. She was dealing with a certain realism that she was aware of.
Right. Go ahead, Lamont. You got another one?
Yeah, this is my last one. Have any of you ever heard of a person named Hercules? Is it Posse? P-O-S-E-Y? Posey?
No, man. Only Hercules I heard was.
Maynard, have you ever heard of this particular person?
No, I haven't. I can't say that I have. Hercules Posey.
And this is my point. So this young man, this person was born in 1748. Okay.
1748.
1748. He was one of
1748.
He was one of the 9 slaves that were owned by George Washington. So this Hercules guy was a chef, right? This guy was allegedly a culinary genius. So I'm watching TV and they talking about this guy. I said, oh, this is cool. I never heard about them. Then they got to the end of the story. They started talking about how one day he just put down his pots and pans and he was in Mount Vernon, cooking for the prayers at the time. And he said, I'm out. I'm leaving. And I'm not coming back.
How'd that go?
He lived happily ever after. He left.
So you saying that Kanye West was right?
I was about to say the same thing.
What did Kanye West say?
He said being a slave was a choice.
I'm just telling you with this particular story right here, which I had never heard of this guy. My man got up and left the plantation and lived happily ever after. Or escaped. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was a little bit more than happily ever after. It might have been, so we got to go through the middle of the night, X, Y, and Z. But it just amazes me how I never remember hearing that story. I always remember hearing about, the ones that were hung and beaten and all of those other bad things. But you never hear about the slaves that got away, you know what I mean, that escaped. So I just wanted to know, had y'all ever heard of this guy?
I have not.
I had not. But I imagine that we should probably learn a little bit more about him and learn. I would love to know, if he was a cuisine artist or whatever. I'd like to know why, what it was, that made him so hot. Because I'm interested in that. That's interesting.
And again, that's what the conversation was, because of Thanksgiving and infamous chefs and blah blah blah. And when I heard that piece of it, I was like, wow. Because Mark Samuelson, I don't know if you know Mark. Guy that owns the Rooster, he's always on TV, blah, blah, blah. He got a new book. And in the book, one of the contributors started talking about the chef. And I said, oh, okay. And again, they just kind of brushed over that my man just one day decided to leave. Like, I'm out.
Well, that, I think, and I don't want to jump the gun on Spud. I know you want to wrap this up. We went over it. But,
should we over 15 minutes?
Yeah, but no rules here. There's no rules.
What are the Thanksgiving plans? The COVID is is out here buck wild.
You making pork butt?
Man, turducken.
Huh?
I'm gonna have some turducken this year.
What's turducken?
You never had turducken?
No, that's
where they take the turkey.
That's some West Indian shit.
No, they take some turkey, then they stuff it with duck, and they stuff that duck with some chicken, and you get one big old piece of bird, and they call it turducken.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Can't be.
Yes. Trust me. I'm not lying to you, but I'm not having turducken. I'm just
Alexa, what is turducken?
Yeah.
It actually really is.
I'll try to tell you. I'm not having turducken.
Okay, Alexa, stop.
The vaccine. What are we doing about that? Are we messing with it?
No, we're not doing nothing. We're going to do what we have been doing, which is boosting our own immune system. We're going to continue to do that.
Drinking whiskey and vodka. That's what we're going to do.
You feel right. Get you some hot toddies, do all that shit that's going to uplift your body. Because the reality is that vaccine probably is going to do something to not build up your immune system.
Yeah. So, Lamont, are you flying for Thanksgiving or
no?
What? Are you,
no.
You
First of all,
home,
shout out to my dad. I just had a scare with my dad, who's down in very rural Georgia. But I just had to fly to go see him because he had an accident, but everything is all good in the hood. But no more planes for me, Playboy. None.
Right. So you at the crib?
I'm posted. 2021, I'll see y'all.
Maynard, you at the crib?
I'm at the crib, and the funny thing, and I'll be real quick here.
Y'all got family over? Y'all putting masks on? Or
No visits. The one thing I'll say is my birthday is obviously always the 20th of November, and it's almost always like 4 or 5 days away from Thanksgiving. And I get thankful because, you get all the shout outs, people send you love through the mail, through, somebody might have, my dad might have put a little something on my books as well. He always sends me some.
Dad, you can cash out?
Yeah, actually, low key, my dad uses Apple Pay, man. I was like, he was just like, yo, you know what? This COVID thing is crazy. Yo, you need $200. I was like, sure, I'll take $200. Next thing I know, it was like in my phone. I was like, damn, how'd you know how to do that? Pops is out here. But he sent me my, my annual Omaha steaks or whatever. And so I just want to say, because this is the last time we'll talk about this to all of our friends before next week. I'm thankful that we have people out here who watch us. I'm thankful I have people in my life that love me, and you know what I'm saying. I'm just thankful. I got health this week, so I'm good.
You know what, man? Let me echo that. I mean, I'm thankful for a couple of things. One, nobody in my family has got COVID since we have had it. I mean, since it's, been in the States. Nobody in my immediate family has contracted the virus. Nobody that I know personally that I know has died from it. That is a blessing, rest in peace. And, what I'm saying, my heart goes out to all the families of the people who I do know that has lost somebody, and those people who I don't know that, have lost somebody. I'm thankful for that, and to be able to have my health, and to have my wife and my family and my kids, and more importantly, just to be able to have lights on, and to be able to have a couple of dollars in the bank, and a car to drive, and just the little bitty essential things that you don't think really matter, that matter. Like I still see, I don't know how people still are on like braggadocious stuff, after COVID, and again, I'm different, and I'm grown, a little older now. So like those things, one, never have meant anything to me, but they really don't mean anything to me. But it just is really amazing to me to just still see people throwing money in the air. And, I was like, yo, I wanted to post this and I didn't, but I'm like, yo, can we invest in the stocks and the bonds and the can we post more of that and less of the PS5s? Like, I see a lot of PS5 posts and not a lot of stock posts.
Why is the PS5 so hot? What is?
I don't even know. Like, I mean,
It's just a
I haven't had a
game.
anything since whenever.
Can I ask a question? Since I know y'all being thankful, but because I don't know. So, what game do people play on the PS5? Is that the game itself, or?
I know Call of Duty is big.
Okay.
NBA 2K, Madden, I'm sure is still big.
Right.
Those are the main joints. But
Can't you play it on the old PS4 or 3 or 2?
You know, every year, you know, it's kind of
Lamont, you can't be out here rocking the old PS something another. You can't be out here with the old one. You gotta have the hot
You
new
can't be out
one.
here with no PS4, Lamont. Like,
Come on, man.
not playing, you know. But I'm like, yo, I see all these PS5s. I don't see enough like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in my bank account. And again, you know what I'm saying? You know, to each its own, whatever. But, you know, I'm just thankful to be able to have the little chips that I got and the little chips that I make. And I'm blessed to be able to have the things that I have. I'm not hurting for anything. You know, I mean, I ain't got to look at my bank account and be like, ooh, do I got it? You know.
What's up with your finger, my dude? I'm sorry.
You know what? I broke my nail, man, yesterday, and it hurts like hell, and I keep hitting it. So
wait. I guess it's y'all on the thankfulness. I got to throw
I know, but
mine
we
in.
gotta go. I mean, you know what I'm saying. But Lamont, you gotta. I mean, you know, what do you think?
Well, mine is real short. You know what I mean? I would echo what all you guys said, but I think for me is that I'm at peace. I think if nothing else, you know, peace is very important. You know, peace of mind. You know, a lot of that comes with being able to have a biscuit or two in your freezer, or a couple dollars in the bank, or a wife that, you know, is pretty damn good. You know what I mean? And just not having a lot of drama, because there are a lot of people out here right now, they got drama in their life, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so if nothing else, I'm glad for that. You know what I mean? And you know, we'll see how this COVID thing shakes, because I think it's gonna get a little worse. Because I was in the airport, bro. Like, in the past week, I was in 4 airports, because I had to catch a couple connecting flights to get to the small town my dad was. And there's people out here reckless, bro. They not really rocking out. And they serious about Atlanta and Georgia. They don't have masks. They're not playing that. They don't. So all of that's about to get crazy too. So if nothing else.
I mean, I just even saw, like, I saw an article, I saw a news something, well, it was 3 million people flying for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm like, huh?
Like, how y'all flying for Thanksgiving? Like,
It's funny. You know what makes it worse? And I'll give you the numbers. I bought a ticket the same day, first class from Detroit to Atlanta. Guess how much it was?
oh, gotta be cheap.
$204, bro.
What?
First class.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're giving the tickets away. That's why.
Oh, yeah, no question.
They're giving them away.
Detroit to Vegas right now, dirt cheap.
Yes.
New
they
Year's
give them away.
Eve, dirt
Yes.
cheap. Yeah, but no, you ain't gonna have me out there on that plane. I'll be
I'm
right
good.
here in this basement doing this podcast. That's where y'all gonna see me. So, thank you guys so very much. Thank you, man, all the people who rock out with us every single, you know, Monday. You guys do not know. I mean, I know I said it before, but it really means a lot to us. You know, our small little tribe. You know, for just watching us every single week. We truly appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Have a great week. You know, don't be out there in them stores on Black Friday trying to get a TV. You know, do the Amazon Prime thing this year if you have to. You know, stay safe out there. Stay healthy. Get you some black seed oil. Get you some apple cider vinegar. Get you some ginger. Get you some, you know, sea moss. You know, get you some bladder wax.
Buy somebody some stock
Buy
on Black Friday.
You know, buy you some stock from Black Friday. Save your money. Save you some money. And you know, if you got it, spend it. If you want to buy whatever, enjoy your life. But I'm just saying, don't go buy a $50,000, $80,000 car before you buy a house.
Hey, man, can we talk about this next week? Stock ain't for everybody.
Shop Black. Thank you, Tina.
No, we're not shopping.
Shop Black Friday.
Can we talk about that next week, Maynard? Everybody shouldn't buy stock. I got a long list why.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I guess.
It's Spud the boss. You can talk to him about it.
I'm not the boss at all. I mean, nah, I wish I was, but I'm just a small town guy in a big town world. I don't even know what that means.
It worked, dog. It worked.
It did. Okay, good. All right, y'all have a great week. Thank you guys so very much for, participating in this episode. Have a great Thanksgiving. We'll do it again next Monday, 7 p.m. Tell your friends. If you watch this on Instagram, thank you so very much. Share this post with your friends on Facebook. Thumbs up on Facebook. Subscribe to us on not on Instagram, on
YouTube. SoundCloud,
do that.
Spotify.
I know one thing I'm gonna be doing for Thanksgiving is trying to lose. I got some fat cheeks, man. I gotta lose a couple pounds. Anyway, peace out, y'all. Have a great week.